Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Jim with TheRealEstateExpert.Online. Thanks for joining me. Today's segment is actually part two of this NAR crazy lawsuit, and all these agents in an uproar trying to figure out what they're going to do, if they're going to stay in the business or just talk themselves right out of it. So I wanted to bring out a few points that I've read in detail about it and just kind of clear the air and hopefully answer some questions and concerns that some of these real estate agents are having. First of all, I'm just going to kind of read out some statements. Settlement forces brokers to reduce their compensation. That's false, folks. That's false. Fees have always been negotiable. So this settlement has nothing in there that states that would be true or being enforced. Secondly, the settlement will, for the first time, allow sellers to no longer pay compensation for an agent bringing the buyer. Again, that's false. Never been an obligation for the seller to pay a buyer's agent, but it always helps, and it's been a pretty good practice up until this point. Now people are, freaking out what we're going to do. Bottom line is, if you think about it, it's always been the buyer's money that's paid the commission. They just show it on the settlement statement that the seller's paying for it. So, six in one, half a dozen other. So let's move along. Number three, the settlement prohibits sellers from paying a commission to a buyer's agent and relieves the sellers from any financial burden. Again, that's false, folks. The mandate restricts them from displaying the fees in the association of the MLS. That's all. So they no longer can display what a buyer's agent commission is going to be in the MLS. So when agents are looking for properties for buyers and they pull up the printout of these properties that meet the criteria of the buyer, there's a co-op section there that shows what the buyer's agent is going to get paid for the transaction should they come to an agreement. That's no longer going to be there. Number four, the settlement will serve to meaningfully lower prices and make homeownership affordable again. That's false. Joe Biden, come on, dude. This is not the deal. That's not gonna be the reason for it. It's always been supply and demand. That's what changes the prices. It's always been supply and demand. It had nothing to do with regulating real estate commissions. Okay. So, number five, the settlement is a win for buyers who will now be able to negotiate the fee for representation. Again, folks, that's a little questionable. I think a lot of buyers like the fact that the sellers were paying their agent for the services, so they didn't feel obligated to pay it. I remember first starting out back in 1994, actually started before then, but in 1994, they made it mandatory for us to create buyer's agent agreements. And that was a new thing. And it's kind of funny, now they're claiming this is now a new thing. No, it's been going on since 1994. And I remember trying to get a buyer to sign that before I took them out showing property. They said, well, I got to go to the bathroom. And next thing you know, man, they just bolted off, man. They were gone. So, good luck with that. So anyway, number six, the settlement will result in significant restitution to consumers who were harmed over recent years of transactions by realtors. Come on, folks, let's face it here. The only ones getting paid are the attorneys. I think they have over $80 million coming to them in attorney's fees. So I don't think there's going to be a trickle-down effect when it comes to paying out the consumers any restitution there. So, I've been reading on social media. There's a mastermind group on Facebook, and I'm hearing all these agents chiming in and saying different things. I don't mean to pick on people. But it's sad that a lot of real estate agents, they obviously are new to the game, and or they don't have the broker support. I do a full training. I teach, I mentor real estate professionals. So if you ever decide you want to get some additional training and educate yourself, I teach all aspects of real estate, from listing properties, negotiations, and a number of other things, and been very successful in my 31-year career. Been practicing real estate since 1993. So anyway, it's a bit frustrating. I had one agent, Drew. She was thinking that now that she would have to call the listing agent to find out if they're going to pay any commission, and then she would also have to call the listing agent to find out to get comps, because she thinks that the real estate commission, if it's paid or if it's not paid, is going to affect the overall comps when they do a market analysis. Again, that that really has no factor in it whatsoever. One agent I saw, and she had a great video, but she got on her YouTube and she was trying to claim that commissions and concessions to the buyer are one and the same. Is it tomatoes or tomatoes? Sorry, Audrey, no, concessions are not allowed. If you were to give concessions to the buyer, it's called a kickback, and that's illegal under the federal law, under RESPA. So there are ways that you can give concessions to the buyer at closing, but not just hand them a check. And maybe that's what she was referring to, where you could reduce the price of the home or help out with additional closing costs, things of that nature. But you can't give them a kickback. That's illegal. So anyway, I hope this helps for you struggling agents out there that's probably left the business already. Good luck to you. I'll see you at the grocery store. Probably bagging groceries. But seriously, folks, just get educated. You got to get educated. Learn your craft. Don't treat this business as a hobby. Otherwise, you're going to get paid as one. And so reach out to your broker. If your broker isn't helpful in educating you on how to handle negotiations, because at the end of the day, you present the offer and you put your commission in the offer. The listing agent has to present any and all offers. So that's what I do. When I'm presenting an offer, I'm going to put my commission right in the agreement. And then it's up to the seller whether they want to agree to it or not. At the end of the day, it's whatever they are happy with netting at the time of closing is going to be the result of that transaction. So anyway, bye for now. Be sure to subscribe to my channel down below. Like me, share with me, and make it a great day, folks.